Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the BG Show. I'm here to talk about episode 1 of Ahsoka. As always, I will start with my non-spoiler thoughts, so here we go. I was very mad about this episode, unfortunately. Now, not for the reasons you're thinking. Not because there's a lot of women in the episode or woke stuff or blah, 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 none of that. For Star Wars reasons. I'm not going to go too hard. I specifically am recording this before watching episode 2, so all of this could be obsolete after episode 2 if I really like it. But for right now, this was very, very slow paced. It was slow as molasses, which I know they're building up for stuff, but these Disney shows are so short on episodes. Just, we need some action. And I guess my general question is, if you're not someone who's coming from the animated stuff, how much do you even care about these characters? That's my main question, because I know so many people who I'm trying to recommend the show to, like my dad or a couple of friends, who they kind of know who Ahsoka is, but they don't really know who the rest of the crew is. And I'm just kind of wondering, if making this Rebels in live action was the right move. This feels a lot like an anime adaptation. When they, like Netflix did Cowboy Bebop in live action, that's what this feels like. It feels very different than Mandalorian, because a lot of those characters were specifically made for the Mandalorian. These are animated characters, which they're trying to make in live action. So I don't know, man. I think Dave Filoni, he's done a lot of good. I think Dave Filoni definitely deserves to be part of the project, but perhaps he shouldn't be the main guy in charge. He's reminded me a lot what he's doing with Star Wars, what Zack Snyder did with DC. Super, super talented, knows his stuff, has really, really good ideas, but there has to be someone above him to kind of filter it through, because a lot of times he goes off the rails. So let me get into my spoiler thoughts now. You definitely should watch the episode. I think overall it looks great. These Star Wars shows on Disney always look good. But let me get into my spoiler thoughts so I don't spoil anything. So this is your official spoiler warning. Okay, so right off the bat, the episode starts with a crawl, the letters, like in Star Wars movies, giving you the rundown, and I don't like that. I feel like that's jumping the shark. Keep that for Star Wars movies. It's almost sacred in a way. That's like one of Star Wars' original ideas, was to crawl in the opening. So, make fun of me, call me a Star Wars nerd or whatever, but the whole reason we watch this stuff is to care about it, and I just feel like it wasn't wonky, it wasn't earned, so I did not like the opening crawl. One of my concerns about this show is that Ahsoka is a character that's built for animation. She's speed, she's agility, doing a lot of moves that would be incredibly hard to portray in live action. But I'm like, okay, Disney has a lot of money, they'll make it work. The first opening fight scene, and this isn't Rosario Dawson's fault, she's just too slow. Not Rosario, just whoever, it would be her, it would be anyone, it doesn't matter who's playing her. A human is too slow to portray her. She has to be fast. She can't be fighting slow, like other Jedis. She's moving slower in this show than Count Dooku was as a 75-year-old man in Attack of the Clones. So that, she looks great. I think Rosario Dawson's a really good actress, but she's simply too slow. As I said in my non-spoiler thoughts, my question is, how much do you care? How much do you care about Sabine? How much do you care about Hera? How much do you care about Ezra if you've never seen these characters before? Honestly, I watch Rebels. I like Rebels, but why do I even care? Here's a basic question. Why do I care that Ezra's missing? Serious question. When you rank the characters in Star Wars, from your favorite characters, how many do you rank before you get to Ezra? I was thinking about it. I can argue there's 50, maybe even 100 characters. There are side characters in Clone Wars I might care about more than Ezra. So I think this show should have had the Rebels characters, but it should not have been the premise of the show. It shouldn't have been Rebels in live action. It should have been the Ahsoka show with Rebels characters in it. Again, this is only the first episode, and we haven't gotten any Anakin flashbacks, but I thought the show was going to be a lot about kind of introducing people to Ahsoka. A lot of people aren't going to watch Clone Wars or never going to watch Clone Wars. I'd be okay with them reliving some of those scenes, introducing her to the audience, as opposed to just making it a full-on Rebel show, make her the main character. I thought there was way too much Sabine in this episode, which I'll get to next. So Sabine in live action, we get, obviously we get Hera as well. Sabine is a Mandalorian who's obviously one of the main characters in Rebels. She actually fights these, I guess you'd call them Inquisitors, or basically bad Jedi. They don't really say yet. They have orange lightsabers. Balin and his apprentice. and she kills Sabine, or it looks like she kills her at the end of the episode. I'm not hoping for her to be dead, but I think it'd be stupid for her to come back from this. I mean, she gets too many times people are surviving lightsaber strikes, it seems like. So we'll see what happens in episode 2. But a lot about this is about recruiting Sabine and a map. I just think it moves incredibly slow this entire episode. I think they should have just came out with the action, which is probably why they released 2 episodes. My final thought, and probably most important, is thank God they finally released these episodes on Tuesday night. I would make Friday night the night for Disney Plus, but finally Bob Iger came back and made an impact, because releasing these episodes on Wednesday morning, or technically midnight Pacific time, 3 a.m. Eastern time, was ludicrous. Basically, everyone on the East Coast would have to wake up really early to watch the show before work, or you'd have to go the entire day of work, not be spoiled, and rush home to watch it. It was terrible. So hopefully this new format works. That's my review for the first episode. Again, I was a little bit down on it. I'm not going to be like, oh, fuck Star Wars, I'm done with it, but I'm definitely growing a little bit antsy about Dave Filoni. It wasn't bad. It was just kind of a dud for me. It was slow. I didn't like the way Ahsoka was moving in live action, and I like Rebels as an animated show, but it didn't hit as much to me. It really felt like an anime adaptation. So I'm gonna watch episode 2 right now. Let's see what happens. Thanks guys for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.